G'day everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we've got a non-spoiler review for the new Sony Marvel movie Morbius that was just released last night. So I went to a late night screening, came home early this morning, and thought I'd do this video for you guys straight up and put it straight on the channel, so anyone who's thinking of going and seeing it over the next week or two, they can feel free to watch this ahead of time. So non-spoiler review. So just letting you know straight up, I mean, I'm not overly familiar with the character. As I've said in previous videos, I'm not a massive Spider-Man fanatic, and the character Morbius is from that Spider-Man universe in the comics. So I don't have a lot of kind of background knowledge of the character and what have you. I know just as much as about almost any average normal person going into this film. When I saw the trailers, I was impressed. I thought the trailers looked really good. They kind of did when I watched the trailers, I thought they were doing a good job of kind of saying, oh, this is part of the Spider-Man universe. We've got this character and this character that you've seen before. They made certain references to other characters in the Spider-Man universe in the trailers, like a Venom reference, and they had images of Spider-Man, like posters up on the walls in the background or what have you. So going into this, I thought, oh, yep, okay, this is going to tie in nicely to everything else. Then about a week ago, I started hearing reports online of the advertising being misleading, all the references to Spider-Man and the greater MCU and everything else had been cut out of the movie, and certain scenes that were in the trailers weren't in the movie and everything. So that made me a little bit nervous going into this movie, I will admit that. The other thing I heard is over in Hollywood, they do the early screenings for media, for reporters and reviewers, and they do some early test screenings for fans and things like that. And they always get them to sign an embargo agreement saying that they won't release any reviews or information till a certain period before the movie. Normally that's a week or two out, to create buzz for the movie and get people interested, so that when the movie does open in cinemas, people go out straight away opening weekend, and gets the movie ticket sales up for that opening weekend. I found out that Sony put an embargo on this movie, that no one who went to the press screenings or early screenings, no one was allowed to release their reviews or any information about the movie until 24 hours before the release. So when I heard that the studio had done that, that also made me very nervous, because like I said, normally they want to create a lot of buzz and get people excited for a movie ahead of time, so that when the release date comes, they go out in droves and see it. But if no one's releasing any reviews early, there's no buzz. People forget that the movie's even coming out. So that kind of says to me that the studio was nervous about how this movie was going to be received. They lacked a bit of confidence that people were going to like it and what have you. So again, these sorts of things did make me nervous going into this movie, but I tried to keep an open mind as much as possible going into it. I mean, like I said, I don't know a lot about the character and everything, so I went into it, wanting to be told a story, learn about the character, and everything else. So that being said, so full disclosure, I went into it with an open mind, but trepidation. Um, Non-spoiler review. Okay, so look, let's cover some of the basics. So, um, and we'll start with some of the things that I found really really good. So the casting of this movie is actually really good. I'm not a big Jared Leto fan. Like, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of his stuff. I don't go out of my way to purposely go and see everything that Jared Leto does. Um, Really, the only other point of reference that springs to mind is his Joker in the Suicide Squad, which I personally actually didn't mind. I thought it was a very interesting take, a very modern take on the character. Kind of brought him into the 21st century, you know, with the tattoos and piercings and everything else. So I quite liked his Joker, his variation of the Joker. I am a little bit disappointed they didn't give him more freedom and more room to go, maybe with a standalone movie or what have you. But I quite enjoyed his Joker, so therefore, yeah, I went into this with an open mind, and to be honest, he did a very good job. He did do a very good job. Matt Smith, who many of you might know from Doctor Who. I believe he did a run on that. I don't watch the show personally, but I do believe he did a run on Doctor Who for a while. He's been in a number of other movies in supporting roles over the years, but he did a good job too. He was a great character. Was Adria Ajora? I'm probably butchering her name, but she was beautiful and she was intriguing and a great a great um, supporting character to Jared Leto. So she was really, really good as well. And there's lots of other actors in it that you'll know. Jared Harris, fantastic actor. He's always good in everything he does. He's been around for many, many years. And Tyrese Gibson, as a lot of you know from the Fast and Furious movies. So, you know, he was in there as well. So, look, in terms of casting, you know, they did a good job, you know, as far as I was concerned. Costuming was, for the most part, fine. There was nothing special in this movie that required really elaborate costuming or anything like that. It's just a modern day, you know, in the city, you know, kind of thing. So there was nothing really um, you know, massively required from the costuming department of this movie. So, you know, I'm not going to go on and on about that. So let's get to the story and scripting. So the story itself um, was good. There's no problem with the story. The story itself, you know, the story that they wanted to tell was an origin story for this character, and for the most part, there was absolutely no issues with the story. Um, you know, they had years and years and years of source material from the comic books to draw on, you know, to make this story. So for the most part, the story itself was good. The scripting, in conjunction with the scripting wasn't terrible, but there were a number of things that just didn't fit. You know, there were a number of times where, you know, they would put. I think the scripting department or the script writer pulled quotes from other comic books outside of Morbius, used by other characters, and threw them in there for him to use, which didn't fit. You know, you can't have one character using a tagline from another character and expect it to work. So that pulled me out a number of times. I was sitting there and I was watching it, and I'm kind of like, that didn't make sense, or that didn't fit right. Um, they also they took a lot of liberties with this story and with the script and everything. Like, They took a lot of liberties with the various kind of, I suppose, the origins and how they were telling the story of how Jared Leto's character came to be this particular character. They gave you some of the story, but left certain bits out that didn't make sense, or would have helped make sense of the situation and what's going on. And like I said, they took certain liberties and then kind of expected the audience to just accept it and accept what was going on and go with them and move on. Which kind of left me, I was left sitting there kind of going, I don't understand this or I don't understand that. And even admittedly, I was sitting there, and I'd think, I don't understand this, but you know what? I'm just going to go with it. You know. So look, I mean, like I said, the scripting and the story, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. For the most part, it was decent. Like I said, there were just a few plot holes and story holes that could have used a little bit of clarification. Um, but that being said, didn't overly ruin the movie. Okay, like I said, I don't. This is a non-spoiler review. I don't want to give away anything specific. I want you guys to go out there, go and see it, and make up your own mind. I don't want you to not see this movie purely because of my opinions. I want you to go out there and make your own. And then come back to me and put some comments in the comments box below and let me know what your thoughts were. Um, there were also, I want to also note, so with this story, like I said, they take a couple of liberties and everything else. I found myself thinking at one point, this story, or this movie, with a few subtle tweaks and changes, could very easily go from a Morbius, the living vampire movie, to a Batman side movie telling the story of Man-Bat. I found the two, you could very easily, like I said, just change a few names and then change the title, and it would completely fit as a Batman side movie for the Man-Bat character. Um, I think the director and the cinematographer and everyone, I think not only did they pull lines from other characters, but they also stole or did a complete rip-off of certain scenes from other superhero movies. In particular, Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins. There is a scene where, and if you go and see the movie, you'll know 100% what scene I'm talking about. There is a scene that is hands down a complete rip-off of a scene in Batman Begins. So much so that the scoring for that scene is almost identical as well. I found myself sitting there saying, okay, well, they've obviously, copied this scene, but then as the scene progresses and you hear the music, you're thinking, hang on, this music's from that same movie too. And so it was just too, it was on the nose, to be honest. That particular, and they reused that music several times throughout the movie at various different points, and each time they used it, I noticed it and picked it up, and it pulled me out. Um, so so the scoring as well, so going into that, so the scoring of this music, if it wasn't for those moments, I probably wouldn't have noticed anything about the scoring and just gone, yeah, okay, nothing special, nothing stood out. I haven't got a tune in the back of my head, for the next several days. But those particular things turned me off of the scoring and again pulled me out of the movie. So, like I said, look, I'm not going to detail all the different scenes. I'm not going to give away story plot points. The only other thing I will mention about the story is I did find it very predictable. Now, again, this might be because I've watched a lot of these types of movies. I know the kind of the formula for these types of movies, but for me, there were no surprises. There were no shocks, no jump scares. You know, everything that happened, I saw coming before it happened, so nothing shocked me. You know, the movie went exactly how I thought it was going to go every step of the way. So, okay, so look, I don't want to go into this anymore out of fear of obviously giving away spoilers. I don't want to do that. I also don't want to turn you off this movie, okay? So like I said, the casting was good. You know, the casting was great. The story was decent, you know, and the scripting was decent for the most part. Like I said, I had a few issues with it myself, but, you know, for the most part, it was good. As a standalone movie, and that's the thing. So, taking everything else away, MCU movies, Tom Holland Spider-Man, Venom, take everything out, all of those things away, and just looking at this as a standalone movie, it was a decent, fun couple, you know, hour and a half, because it's not an overly long movie. It's about an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes. So as just completely as a standalone, going out there, wasting an hour and a half to have some fun, it was good. I don't regret going. I don't regret seeing this movie. I will I'm going to give it a rating of 6 out of 10. Like I said, personally, 6 out of 10. Like I said, there were a few tweaks and changes that they could have made to kind of fill some story holes and plot holes. There could have been, like I said, there was a couple of scenes where I think they just cheated and stole scenes from other movies and lines from other characters and things like that. So that cheapened it a little bit for me personally. You know, so like I said, so I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. You know, will I watch it again? Yeah, probably when it's available to watch at home. You know, I'll probably watch it again. You know, it's not one of those movies that I hands down will never watch again. You know, I'll probably watch it again with the wife or, you know, with friends if they want to watch it. So, look, so yeah, 6 out of 10 for me personally, but I want to know what you think. I really want to know what you think. Go out, see this movie, make up your own mind, and then let me know in the comments box below what your thoughts were, whether you love this movie or hate this movie. You know, I definitely don't think it's going to do Spider-Man numbers. You know, they had a really great run at the cinemas. You know, so you know, I don't think it's going to do fantastic numbers, but I think it will do decent. They only made it for 75 mil. You know, that was their budget, so they're definitely they're going to make. I'm going to predict that they're going to make 400 to 500 mil at the box office on this movie, so they'll make their money back in spades. But you know, like I said, let me know what you think. Go and see it for yourself. Make up your own mind. If you agree with me, fantastic. If you don't agree with me, I want to hear what your thoughts were. Again, put the comments down in the comments box. Also, if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The more people that subscribe and the more people that like these videos, that lets me know that you're enjoying what I'm doing and encourage me to keep going and do more. It also lets the algorithm know that these videos are trending or people are enjoying these videos. So it encourages YouTube to promote these videos to other people who might be interested. So please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Also, if you're wanting more content, hit up my Instagram at JackDaNerdy. There's going to be heaps of content on there coming up over the next couple of months. Also, we've got obviously our unboxing videos go live on this channel every Tuesday. And we've got heaps more review videos coming up over the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for those. And if you hit the subscribe button, YouTube will automatically let you know when those new videos get uploaded. So you don't even need to go searching for them. They'll just pop up on your feed. So that's it. So that's my non-spoiler review of Morbius by Sony Studios. So again, hit me up. Let me know what you think. If there's something specific as well that you want me to review, also whack it down in the comments. Let me know. Because yeah, if there's something specific that you want to see, I'm more than happy to have a look and get back to you with a review or a companion video as well. So until next time, guys, take it easy, stay safe, sane, and sanitized, and most importantly, stay jacked and stay nerdy.